It's one of the best content pieces I've probably ever seen. It's literally so good. Like, I need to watch it again.
Howdy Meowers, I'm Loremire, back again.
Woohoo! Hello. Hi, Loremire. Hi, everybody. My name is Devin.
Hi. So I was here when we did our mid-year review, shared our favorites from the first half of 2023. So now I'm back to do the 2023 K-pop review, our favorites. We are sharing our favorite releases from this year to all of you Meowers.
Absolutely. And while we tried to be as organized as we could be with different categories, different like reasons that things are our favorites, it's a bit difficult. It's difficult to pick your favorites.
It's incredibly difficult.
And this many favorites, So, but also there's so many songs we want to recognize as ones that we really liked. So just take it all with a grain of salt and like a general knowledge of these are songs that these people really like. And that's why they're talking about them right now. Not like, I can't believe you put this song in this category. Like, just right. These are all songs that we really, really liked from this year.
Yeah, I'll let you know right now. We were choosing from like roughly 100 songs from this year, just title tracks alone. So yeah, that's already a lot to go through. And so what we tried to do is we tried to pick one favorite in different categories. We have about 15 categories, but then we're going to be doing some like mood, genre type categories. We have 5 of those, and then we'll be doing honorable mentions. So we got to pick one from each of the like main categories, but we're allowed to pick a runner up. So I'm going to tell you right now, I have a runner up for every single category because I have such a hard time deciding these types of things.
Yes,
so please forgive
okay.
me if your favorites didn't make it onto either of our lists. What can we say? My favorites might be different in a couple days from now, and I'll be like, oh, I should have included that. But this is what I felt in the moment.
Yes. Okay. Good disclaimer.
Thank you. So yeah, in the last like genre, mood, whatever you want to call those categories, we're allowed to share a couple more, like 3 to 5 favorites.
Yeah.
So should we just begin now?
I guess so. Time to break some hearts.
Wow. Okay, so the first category, we're not going to keep you waiting for this one. We're sharing our overall number 1 favorite from 2023.
Yes, so this is the song that, if you consider everything about it, the sound, the vibes, the genre, the music video, stage performances, everything that goes into your heart and soul when you listen to this song, you think is the best of the best.
Right. So that is why my 2023 K-pop favorite would, of course, be BLITZERS Macarena.
Of course.
What can I say? If you heard our episode last week, you'll know I already talked about BLITZERS Macarena. I talked about BLITZERS Macarena before, and I'm talking about it again now. It's very good. When I think of 2023, I'll think of BLITZERS Macarena. It was the ITZY moment. It was the reason I know BLITZERS. Well, actually, it kind of isn't the reason I know BLITZERS, but it's really like the Macarena comeback is what was like, the final push that I needed, really. It's the whole package. It's got it all. Yeah, BLITZERS Macarena.
Great choice, Loremire.
Thank you.
I'm going to be revealing my overall pick now, and that would be BLITZERS Macarena. If you heard last episode, you heard us talk about this song already. We would have picked this song. If we didn't pick this song, we would be a fraud.
Yeah.
Like, it's that good. And so anyone that hasn't listened to it and experienced it really should, because it's life-changing, really. And that's all there is to say about it, because we talked about it already last time. Just BLITZERS Macarena across the board. You listen to it, you watch the performances, you watch the extra content. It's always good, it's always delivering, and it's always fun.
Exactly. So, yeah, that's our overall favorite. Now, we're going to be sharing our favorite album.
Okay, my top album for the year. Now, coming from me, this one is not going to mean as much as you might think it does. I'm not really an album listener. So a lot of albums that came out this year, I probably didn't even listen to. And then there are a few that I checked out, the album overall, and then there are even fewer that like are actually ones that I would listen to. And so for those reasons, my top album for the year is the DKZ First Repackage album Harmony.
Nice.
You gotta love it just because it's like all of the DKZ songs. And
Yeah,
it's
you
great.
can't go wrong.
Now, I talked about this before in a previous episode. Some of the songs, I'm not, just because I say this about the album does not necessarily mean, oh, I love all of these re-released 2023 versions of the songs. I mean, I do love them. But also some of them you can't hear how they're, like the original Blockbuster. We still need to be listening to that. So the thing is, you just put both of them in your playlist.
Yes. If you follow any of the BlushCat playlists on Spotify, you should notice that I have included both versions of all the DKZ songs.
Yes. And so that just makes it another reason that it's such a great album release, because it lets you have each song in there twice.
Yeah.
So that is my number one pick, but I thought maybe this is a little bit of a cop out because it doesn't even really have any like new songs. I mean, there's like one or two that are, but like it's not, it's not the same type of album, I feel like. So I did include a runner-up for this category, Youth in the Shade.
Okay.
Because I just feel like that ZB1 album is something that I listened to and I liked all the songs from, and I added a couple to my playlist. So I figured, okay, as far as albums go, this one has a pretty good percentage of songs on it that I liked.
Okay, that's a solid 2 picks, honestly.
Thank you.
My top album is Just Be, Nanuki.
Of course.
I did a track by track on that. I already shared how much I love the songs. I was rating this category kind of on like listenability, flow, repeatability, and like how much I listen to it. Just the vibes, really. So Just Be's album is something that I was waiting for, and it just feels good to finally have it. And I think you get a lot of versatility in the tracks. There's ballads, there's acoustic versions, there's upbeat ones, hard-hitting ones. You've kind of got a good mix with this album.
Yes, and if you like the way that Loremire is describing albums and their flow and their breakdown, go on over and listen to the track by tracks that we have here on the BlushCat channel. There's a couple of albums already right now, and they really do a great job. If you want to listen to an album for the first time, they do a great job of guiding you along throughout that journey, and it's really nice. You should check them out.
Thank you. So yeah, that's Just Be. Also, I like what they did, like, with the packaging and stuff, and the concept photos. Had a good message for that album. The second album that I picked, I also did a track by track on, and that's IVE's first full album, ITZY. So yeah, I picked that album just because it was released like, earlier in the year compared to a lot of my other favorites, but I can still listen to the tracks and they still feel nice and fresh, and I like to listen to it still. Like, it wasn't just when it was released the hype was there. It's still carrying so far. So yeah, I think that album has good flow as well, and you've kind of got a nice mix of sounds.
I enjoyed listening to that album on the track by track.
Thank you. And everybody, if you don't know already, I just really like the sound of IVE's music and like their aesthetic in general. So, yeah. Now I think we should move on to the next category. Is that okay with you?
Yes.
Okay, so title tracks, boy group version. We're talking about our top title track.
Yes. Okay. So why don't you go first, Loremire?
Okay. I feel like it should. Well, honestly, this could maybe be a little bit like people wouldn't know what one I would go for, but I've gone with BLITZERS Macarena. Just because, you know, it's the vibe, it's the moment, and I love that song. And just, yeah, we've talked about it so much. And spoiler alert, I'm going to keep talking about it in this episode. So, like, I don't want to spend the whole time talking about the song itself, because, once again, we did that last week. But my runner-up is Just Be Medusa. I love them both. I listened to them both. They're my most listened to songs of the year. Yeah, great songs.
Yes, and don't worry, everyone. There are other songs included on our list.
Yeah.
It's not all BLITZERS Macarena. There were a couple of moments where I thought to myself, okay, don't put BLITZERS Macarena, put something else. Okay, so I did do that a few times, but also like there are times when it just BLITZERS Macarena wouldn't even fit. So don't worry. But I will say that my top title track for boy groups is BLITZERS Macarena as well.
Okay.
So the trend is still going strong, at least for now. But keep listening if you want to hear about more than just BLITZERS Macarena.
What I did is I kind of embraced the Macarena. When I was making this list, I was like, you know, so many of these are so good, but what one really represents me and what one really represents the year? And I was like, you know, so what if I put BLITZERS Macarena a billion times? You know, if that's what I feel in my heart, I guess I'm going to just have to put that down.
Fair.
But also, like, a fun little game for all of you Meowers listening would be like, you know, count how many times BLITZERS Macarena comes up, or just BLITZERS in general. That would be a fun little game. So, yeah.
I did not even include a runner-up for this category. However, if I had, it probably would have also been Medusa. But I just felt BLITZERS Macarena so strongly in my heart that I didn't need any other answers.
Okay, how about your favorite girl group title track?
So this one is interesting. Well, maybe not, but I was kind of surprised that this would be my answer, just because I don't know. But my top title track for girl groups is "Wicked Love" by Yena. So it's girl groups, or you know, girls, and it's like I just think it's kind of weird because it's like maybe not even really that much of a title track vibes. Like, it wasn't promoted very much. There's only a few stages of it and stuff like that. But I love it so much. I could listen to it over and over again. So that is my top.
Okay. Did you have a runner-up?
I did have a runner-up. It's also kind of not promoted very much.
Okay.
But my runner-up is IVE Either Way. Which that one has much less listenability, because it's so intense, but I think it's so good. Like, all of the aspects of it are so very good that I needed to include that one as well.
Okay. I think those are both good ones. My top one song kind of came surprisingly easy to me. I kind of just felt it in my heart and I wrote it down, and I did include a runner-up. Like I said, I think the only one that I didn't have a runner-up for was that overall category. But honestly, the runner-up spot I was considering for a while, but my top favorite, Red Velvet Chill Kill.
Oh, wow.
That
okay.
kind of was surprisingly like, oh, I know it. It's Chill Kill. I think it's really good and really catchy. It's got both the red and the velvet feeling to it, and I like it. My runner-up would be IVE I Am.
Ooh, okay. That is a very good one. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, you know, oh, sure, it's not as good as the other IVE title tracks, but like it really has grown on me. It's pretty catchy. I like the air, not airport, but
Airplane? Oh, runway, yeah.
runway vibes and stuff. It's cool.
Yeah, I both of those are really catchy. I definitely did flip-flop between I Am and Either Way for a little while, but like you said, Either Way is like the listenability on that one is like a little bit.
It's rough. It's rough.
Yeah. So, okay, B-sides. We've broken down the B-sides into promoted B-sides, as in they did this song on music shows, and then just other B-sides. So we're going to just do the other B-sides first. So would you like to share your top B-side?
Okay, so for my B-side and B-side promoted, I actually was just thinking of B-side as like just any B-side, and then promoted B-side is like I was picking it for the promotion aspect.
Okay, that's fine.
So I have two for the B-side category, and they both have definitely been promoted, but I just thought in general they were B-sides that I liked.
Okay.
So I have my top is Gravity Megaphone.
Okay.
Which I didn't even really know was a B-side originally. So, but then once I did, I put it in the B-side category. I think it's just really fun. I do sometimes think they say the word megaphone too much, but besides that, great Gravity song. And then my runner-up is DKZ 9 to 6 Nod. Another classic. Really, really wanted to make sure that I mentioned that one. Good times all around. The vibes are great.
Okay.
I will mention my B-side promoted after you've talked about your B-sides.
Okay. Yeah. So my number one B-side of the year, BLITZERS ? I talked about it last week. I love that song. It's so good. I love it. Yeah. I told everybody not to ignore BLITZERS ? Because it's really good, and so I don't think you should ignore it still. I'm not ignoring it. And yeah.
It's very like if you don't even think you like K-pop music or K-pop sound and you like some more like classic music sounds, I don't mean classical music. Almost like, a classic rock or like a classic more like retro vibe of something. I think this is the song for you, like it doesn't even scream K-pop. It just screams good music.
Yeah. I do have a runner-up though.
Okay.
And that is I've Mine.
Oh, okay. Was that from the album that you like?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just think it's a really nice song. I would have liked to see some sort of music video for it. Like I did say that in the track by track, but yeah, that's okay. It's still a good song.
Okay. So, yeah, now it's just there were so many B-sides this year that I heard, but that they were all promoted, Everybody promoted their B-sides this time around. So, pardon me for, wanting to pick too many promoted ones, but my promoted B-side that is the top is actually surprisingly Zero Base One Melting Point. And it's just like it's not even my top B-side as we heard, but I think that the promotion of it was really nice. I really liked it. It was very different. It was very great and fun to have for the season. And if I had only heard the song, I might not have cared about it as much, but with the like aesthetic vibes that they brought to the table, it really brought it up for me. So, yeah.
I totally agree. I really liked Melting Point as well, and that is why it's my runner-up. I honestly didn't know whether I should put it as the number one promoted B-side or the runner-up, but it is the runner-up because 9i Power Up is the number one.
Okay, fun.
I like that they gave this song its moment, and like I like the styling, I like the vibes. They didn't really have like with Melting Point, like I liked the way that they promoted it and went on music show stages a lot, and like they were doing a lot of TikToks and stuff, but I honestly didn't see much outside of that. I mean, like they had a dance practice and whatnot, but like 9i Power Up, I could watch like fan sign performances and stuff like that, and the whole FC Live thing, and just I feel like they had a little more outside of Melting Point. Although, well, Melting Point had the music video, but Power Up had the more like, fun. It wasn't really self-cam, was it? I don't know. They had a music video for that, which I enjoyed more than the Melting Point music video too. So that's why I gave 9i Power Up the number 1 spot.
Okay, speak your truth, That's what it is. That's what it is. Next, why don't you tell us, Loremire, about your favorite choreography of the year? And wait, everyone, let's remind everyone that we are not picking what we think is the top, quote unquote, or the best for all of these categories. We're picking our favorite. So we might have thought that a certain B-side or title track or choreography was like technically speaking better, but it's not the favorite in our hearts. It doesn't live and breathe inside of us.
Yeah.
So we're picking our favorites.
Right.
This is
not technical or like skill based or anything like that at all.
Right. The answer could be that, but it's mainly just what was our favorite.
Right. So the choreography category is something I particularly struggled with. I'm still not like 100% sure that this would even like be my favorite, because I had like a lot that I was considering, but I rated this category based off of like choreography that I enjoy watching, choreography that has some cool elements, looks nice, good execution, is memorable, and has, that element of satisfaction that when I watch it, I'm like, yeah, that was good choreography, or like, I enjoy watching the dance. So, my number 1 favorite for this year, I said, is Vivi's Maniac.
Ooh, okay.
Just because, the choreography really works with the song. It enhances the song. It doesn't take away from the song. And I think that's really important. And it's like really standout, memorable. I think it's really great. I think it's really important that choreography doesn't take away from the song.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah.
Fair pick. I remember being intrigued by certain elements of the choreography for that as well. What is your runner-up?
My runner-up also might surprise some people. However, I watched it again. I've watched it a lot already, but I watched it again and I deemed it was appropriate for the moment. And I picked Yena Wicked Love as my runner-up.
I considered it as well. Spoiler, it is not mine.
Wow.
But
that's surprising. I thought it would be.
I really do like a lot of elements of it.
Yeah, it's very different.
Yeah.
There's a lot of like cool things that happen. It's really satisfying and it's definitely memorable. Like there's parts of it when I'm hearing the song, I am picturing the choreography.
Okay, thank you. Win for Yena Wicked Love. I'm always here for that.
So what about you?
So, it's interesting because I thought maybe we would be kind of picking vastly different things because we had vastly different sort of criteria or reasons that we were considering these options. But when you explained what your criteria was and like what you were trying to go by, I was like, wow, that sounds kind of exactly why I picked the songs that I picked. They still are quite different though, but in general that it seems to be a similar thing. And I had a very difficult time as well, but more so because I was like, choreography, I don't know her. Like, what even dances? I don't know. Choreography is not something that not really that I don't focus on, but more so that it's like I don't think I appreciate it as much as I could be. So mine are a bit simpler of like moments that I chose. Not the moments are simple. I'm saying it's not the overall choreography throughout the whole dance.
Okay.
It's more of like, oh, for this moment.
Okay.
Yeah. So my top choreography favorite for this year is 9 to 6 Don't Call Me.
It's a good one.
It's really good. And the choreography throughout is really good. But I just feel like the part when they're running, like all of the running choreography,
Yeah.
and when like they have the certain outfits on that they're wearing like a suit jacket and they're running, like it's just so impactful. It looks so good. I feel like it adds so much to the song. So even though I might kind of be basing it mainly off of just like one running motion, you know, that is my favorite. Like it's done so well and it adds so much. So yeah. My runner up, I was a bit surprised that I was picking this, but I think it's fair. My runner up is So Me Fast Forward. I just think the choreography for that is so different and so like we talked about it when we talked about her comeback. So like almost bad but then good at the same time. Like it's an interesting mixture of her being like, you know, dancing like she doesn't care, but like also it's like serving.
Yeah.
So for that element, I just felt like it was really unique and it's executed so well once again. That those were my favorite choreography moments.
They are both really good ones, and you know, I'm always here for more DKZ appreciation and recognition. And yeah, I think Fast Forward definitely was like bringing something fresh.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Now let's move on to talk about music show stages. Okay, if you know K-pop, I'm sure that you know music shows. So we're talking about our favorite stages to watch live, more specifically like on music shows. So, what was your top favorite?
I'm going to say right away, and this might seem like a cop-out, but right away I could have and maybe would have put BLITZERS Macarena as my top favorite. It probably is my top favorite, but just for the general sake of being able to include a few more songs, you know, throughout these favorites, I had to table that one.
Okay.
So what I've listed as my actual favorite is DKZ 9 to 6 Don't Call Me.
Okay.
I loved watching that on stages for reasons that I just mentioned. And also just the song is so good. I loved it. They were delivering. Oh my God, they did such a good job. That song deserves more recognition. Like, they do such a good job.
They really do.
It's really good. It's really good. It's really good.
Yeah.
So that is my favorite. And then my runner-up, Just Be Medusa.
Nice.
I didn't even actually see that many stages of it, but just that one show champion stage that I saw is enough alone for me to be like, wow, what a good stage. It's the type of stage where you just think, wow, these people are here, they're present, they're delivering, you know? It's not like this is their 12th time that they've promoted this song, that they've gotten up at 3 a.m. for someone to do their makeup while they fall asleep in the chair and they're just, you know, they're tired. No, it's not like that. They're delivering and it's so good. So, yep, those are my top.
Nice. I didn't, you know, I didn't know about this category. Once again, I struggled a bit because there were more that I wanted to give attention to. But ultimately, I didn't do what you did, and I just embraced BLITZERS Macarena, and I put it as my favorite because I'm pretty sure that it just is.
It deserved.
Yeah, like, I know this is about music show lives, but just in general, live, it's good. I kind of rated this category on, like, energy and, like, fun, interactivity. It had to have decent styling for me to consider, really. Like, if I'm going to be watching it on music shows, I wanted the styling to be, at least decent. And I also considered, like, concert vibes. Like, if I felt like when I was watching the music show stage, like what you said with Just Be, like, I wanted them to be present.
Right.
Yeah, and so BLITZERS Macarena, all of the stages are good. They don't miss. The energy's there. You get to see the choreography, and you get to have a fun time.
Yeah, and sometimes with the styling, it can be especially tough because you might have really liked the styling for the music video, and then you go and you see them do their promotion time on stages, and it's just not the same. Or like maybe there was one particular look in the music video that you didn't really like, it wasn't your favorite, and that's the like sort of genre of looks that they keep going for. And so then you're like, I would rather just watch the music video than stage performances, just because my more favorite styling is only present in the music video.
Yeah.
But BLITZERS Macarena does not have that.
The only thing is, like we talked about in the last episode, some of their music shows did get cut short, which is just awful.
Abridged version.
Yeah. And like with Just Be, they didn't even get to promote that song very much, which is a shame.
Yeah, the disrespect for both of them.
Yeah. But my runner-up is NCT Dream Broken Melodies.
Ah, of course, yes.
I loved it. It's something I still go back to. If I go to Broken Melodies, I do tend to go for music show performances more than like the music video or the dance like performance video or something like that. I think they had good styling. Definitely, like, I feel like they were still in the concert mindset. They had been on tour for so long. They were like, we are at an NCT concert. And, that made the vibes better. And it was fun with the audience there. It was just a good time. So, yeah. Can I just say one that I really wanted to consider if I didn't put Macarena?
Yeah, that's basically what I did, but in reverse.
I really was considering AB6 Loser.
Oh, wow, okay.
Because I think, I knew it deserved a win, and I'm glad it got one. And I think that the live makes it feel even better and like more powerful. So like there's parts of the song that the pace really builds up, and it fits really well with like the music show stage aspect.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing.
You're welcome. Now, may I please share my favorite music video?
Absolutely. I wonder what it will be.
I wonder what it will be. Just for, if you can't already guess, I'm just going to say what I was kind of going for in this category. That's watchability and also like aesthetics. So yeah, top favorite, BLITZERS Macarena. You had to have seen it coming. If you didn't see it coming, go listen to our other episodes. BLITZERS Macarena is truly, 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 truly so good. And the music video is perfect. There's like every element, like I talked about before, is just so good. And I'm going to take this time to share some appreciation for the music video teaser. If you haven't seen the Macarena music video teaser, I really encourage you to watch it because it is a teaser like no other music video teaser I have ever seen before. And it is so perfect. If they did the teaser in any other way, honestly, it wouldn't have been the Macarena brand. So the way that they did the teaser perfectly sums up the vibe and energy of the comeback overall. It was truly perfect. I should have been there when it happened.
When you showed me that teaser, and I was deeply already supporting Macarena, loving it. I was astounded. I was like, wow, this is like incredible, never before seen, never been done before. Like, who even are these people to even do this sort of thing? geniuses,
Mm-hmm.
artists of our generation.
Full Lady Gaga quote, like
Yes.
literally.
Like well, yeah, so go watch it.
It's very perfect. The music video is very perfect. If you're a ZB1 fan and watch ZBTV, we tweeted about it on the BlushCat Twitter that the set they have used in ZBTV in the one when they play like the Mafia game, and the one where they're reading letters and stuff, they are at locations that the BLITZERS Macarena music video has in 2 ZBTV episodes. So, support BLITZERS, everyone. Macarena is so good. Even the performance music video is good. So, yeah.
Uh-huh.
I could really keep talking about it, but I'm just going to share my runner-up.
Okay.
My runner-up is I've Kitsch.
Ooh, okay. I like the vibes that you've gone
Yeah.
with. Like, I feel like those two pair nicely together.
Okay.
Like, aesthetically.
That's interesting. I feel like I don't really know why
They're
you're
both like
saying that.
dark but colorful. Like
Okay.
the color of the screen is like a darker tone. It's not like bright like a Stacy video or something.
Okay.
It's darker, but like there's color involved.
Mm-mm.
That's literally the only connection I was making.
Okay. I really like the aesthetics of the I've Kitsch video. It's, very close to Love Dive, and I loved that video. Like, I want to kind of reserve the watches of it almost. It's so good, but when it comes on, I'm like, I want to watch the video. I don't just want to hear the song because I think it's a really nice video. So, yeah, what is your favorite music video?
BLITZERS Macarena.
Nice, yep.
Like it, guys. This is why it got the overall spot for us.
Yeah.
We talked about it because overall means that it's good for all of these different aspects. So of course it would then be our favorite for all of these different things.
Yeah.
That's why it got the spot. So yes, BLITZERS Macarena, definitely number one favorite. And I didn't even include a runner-up because what more do you need than BLITZERS Macarena?
Yeah, honestly, if I took one music video with me from the year, it would have to be BLITZERS Macarena. I'm sorry to the other videos. There are so many good ones in my opinion, so many good ones. But BLITZERS Macarena, it just has it all.
If I did do a runner-up, I suppose maybe I would do like Cake by ITZY.
Oh, okay.
Not even because it's not even that I enjoy watching it that much. It's more so that I appreciate it. Like I appreciate the aesthetics of it and like the humor of it. I really like their facial expressions of like, their oops, like whatever, like I screwed up again.
It is quite a funny video.
Yeah, I enjoy that aspect of it. So while in general I maybe would rather watch something else for Cake to see more of like the choreography and stuff, I do really appreciate that music video. I think it was done nicely.
You might be surprised if you listened to our mid-year favorites and like heard us talk about our favorite music videos because, well, I didn't even know BLITZERS Macarena then, but like I feel like I said ones that are very different in style as well from these, but they're still up there, I'd say. Like the ones that I said in the mid-year are definitely still some of my top favorites now. But I had to pick one, and it's BLITZERS Macarena. And honestly, if you have a problem with the amount of times that we are mentioning BLITZERS and BLITZERS Macarena, and you think, oh, this is a cop-out, or like whatnot, or like you don't have any other favorites basically besides BLITZERS, well, I think you just haven't seen BLITZERS Macarena. That is honestly what I'm thinking. You just need to go check it out, and then you'll come back and be like, oh, now I know.
Yeah, or even like at the same time, because people maybe would think, oh, I wish these people would talk about something more than just that. But like, think about what you wish that we talked about, like what your favorites are, what your top ones are, and is it not going to repeat the same thing over and over again? you know?
Yeah.
Are you not going to also be like, oh, well, I absolutely love, this song from this group. And, oh, I would put it as the top music video and I would put it as the top performances. And, like,
Yeah, like
you're going to repeat your top a lot too.
Yeah, like think about if you are like, oh, I would really want to hear somebody talking about my favorite thing, but it's like we're talking about our favorite things. So, yeah, it's like, of course, we're going to be saying the same thing if it's our favorite.
Yeah.
So please just try to understand where we're coming from. Now we're going to be talking about Japanese releases, though. So, what was your number one Japanese release?
So this one, even though there were so many good Japanese releases this year,
It's true.
and I mean there always are. I
Yeah.
feel like the Japanese songs just almost always are a hit or miss, like they're a hit, I guess. They're so good all the time, but this one still, regardless of all of that, this one was easy for me. It's NCT Dream, Best Friend Ever. Still love it. Loved it since, early in the year. So I'm pretty sure I did talk about it in the mid-year if there was the opportunity for it. It's just so good. I love it. And I did not even include a runner-up because I just felt like this one is it for me. And also, it was too hard to pick a runner-up.
Okay.
Because, like, all of the other ones are also good, but, like, I don't know which one would be the next standout for me. So, yeah. Top, favorite, Best Friend Ever. All the rest of them are really good.
Okay.
So, how about you, Loremire?
I agree with you. I'm right there
wow.
with you. It was an easy one for me. I liked it when it came out. I still like it now. My favorite Japanese release is NCT Dream Best Friend Ever. It just is really good. It's really pretty sounding, but it's also fun. And it's like, it's almost magical how like it sounds. And I think the dance is good too. And I like the green in the music video. There's some parts of the music video itself that I don't really like. I'm not like, oh, this is like everything about this is my favorite, but just overall it really is.
Yeah. Okay.
I did have to include a runner-up though.
Okay.
That's 17 IMA, Even If the World Ends Tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. I thought that one was like really good, but like too sad.
I think it's really good. I thought 17 had a lot of wins this year, a lot of hits. So I feel bad that they're not showing up more. Like, I feel like this was a really big year for them. But, I was considering everything, and I feel like I wasn't in the 17 world as much as I was like maybe last year. But this music video and song I thought was really nice. So yeah, that's why it's my runner-up.
Okay, very nice.
Now let's talk about some content. If you like K-pop, maybe you don't just like it for the music. Maybe you don't like it for the music at all. Maybe you only watch K-pop content.
That's
How many
totally
people
fair.
are like that?
Yeah, because there's so many elements to K-pop that are like that bring so much. Like if you're only a fan of like Olivia Rodrigo for her interviews or something. Maybe that's a little bit harder to like actually like. It's not as substantial of like a chunk of things. I don't know how often she does interviews. I don't know anything about her. But with K-pop, there is a lot of content. There is a lot of fashion. There is a lot of music elements. There are a lot of all those different things. So that's completely possible.
Yeah. So I thought there was, one group that really stood out, and that's because it was the first year that I really decided to give their content a try. So once again, top pick BLITZERS.
Okay.
BLITZERS has my favorite content of the year, and I am including like their whole year's worth of content. So that's content that I watched even before I actually became a fan, but like after I became a fan and went back and watched the stuff that they put out at the beginning of the year. But more recently, they've had these like little travel contents, and it's called Working Holiday. And then there's another one that is similar called BLITZERS Holiday. And so they're, doing stuff in Japan, they're doing stuff in Korea. It's like sort of music show behind in the Working Holiday, but it's also like shopping and stuff like that. And then BLITZERS Holiday, they go and they have to get to their accommodation, and then you see them at the accommodation a little bit. It's fun, it's funny, it's original, it's a very unique BLITZERS content, and I really appreciate that because, like we said, there is so much K-pop content. So I just have really enjoyed BLITZERS content this year.
I surprisingly have seen very, very little of BLITZERS content, but what I have seen or heard about is pretty funny / iconic. So that makes sense.
Yeah, even their regular music show behind things, their Blee cams, stuff like that. So good. I really want the staff to like stay the way that it is in terms of how they're handling BLITZERS and their content. Like everybody gets their own content piece, like their own program, and they clearly have a lot of different like special programs that they like to make, and they like to make special videos for the holidays. So I think that their team is like, it's seeming to be doing a good job. But my runner-up for content is DKZ because they released their Donkey Town Company 2 and their Dongo Dongrock 3 travel program this year. Both really good. Really recommend them. And yeah, DKZ content is always a hit as well.
Absolutely. For my top favorite content, it is going to DKZ. Just for the Donkey Town Company 2 alone, I could have, made that call. It's one of the best content pieces I've probably ever seen. It's literally so good. Like I need to watch it again because that was, oh my God, it was so funny, so good. So highly recommend. But yeah, just in general, I think that DKZ's got good content. And my runner-up would go to ZB1. I think that ZB1, every time that I've seen content from them, it's been interesting and funny. I particularly like their ZBTV like Mafia episodes. That was pretty fun. But also their Camp Zero Base one that we saw earlier in the year, that was good as well.
That was good.
Yeah, so I think ZB1's got some strong content capabilities there. But also DKZ, wow, so good.
Yeah. I definitely do think ZB1 is like they're on the road to like, if they would get even more content or if it was handled a little better, like they're very funny and they like have the personality for content. Okay, how about your favorite styling?
My goodness, I had a hard time with this category, and if you've been listening to BlushCat for any time now, you might know that I really focus on, and one of my big interests of K-pop is the fashion and the styling. But I'm also I'm also very like picky / judgmental / like have very specific likes and dislikes about it. Like some people like fashion because they like all of the different types of fashion, like they're just like, oh, I just love fashion. But I'm like, I love this type of fashion. So I'm very particular. And so I had a difficult time because this year I actually, while I did end up seeing a lot of elements here and there that I liked, I didn't actually see a lot of overall like wins for me. Like, oh, overall, like everything about it, or like consistently throughout the promotion, it was good. It was like, oh, well, I like these pieces of clothing, but I don't like their hairstyling. Or I like these pieces of clothing, but they've ruined it with these other parts of the clothing. Or it was just this one stage. Things like that. But after, some thinking about it, I have decided that my favorite styling is going to go to ITZY for like the cake promotion time. I liked a lot of the jeans and the tops. I just think that while their stuff might not have been as elaborate or, like I really like sparkle and things like that, they didn't have a lot of those elements. So it maybe is a bit simpler, like a bit more like street clothes. I also really love good street clothes looks. So, and I like bright colors. And so that combined a lot of those elements. So that is my favorite. And then surprisingly, I've scrounged up the runner up here of Kong Daniel SOS.
Okay.
Now I will say that I don't like his hair being too long and straight in the back, like a little bit of a mullet. But it isn't always like that, and I'm gonna overlook that for the amount of likeness, the amount of likingness that I have, how much I liked the clothing pieces, So like I'm taking the hair as like a second thing. I try to have everything be for styling, but I really like the clothing elements. There's lots of different detail pieces for his outfits, and it's got that sort of grungy look, but also like I don't even know how to describe it, but it's got the like sort of tough, almost like I feel like there is a word, but I can't remember it, but like it's kind of like a combat look almost, with like combat boots, cargo pants, and then a lot of like buckles and things happening, but it's done in like a grungy sort of post-apocalyptic way. I really like it. I think Kong Daniel pulls it off really well, so that's my runner-up. So I've got like two, I've got like street clothes bright element, and then I've got like the darker, more grungy tough element.
Yeah.
What about you?
Okay, well, I'm gonna say that I went and based this category off of uniqueness, execution, and just personal taste. So, my number one might surprise some people, but my number one, I went with Red Velvet once again for like their Chill Kill comeback, because I think it was very pretty overall, but it had a concept, and I love that. They had a lot of cool elements like the wings, the eye patches. They had like glitter on their arms in the concept photos. They had like in the music video, they had accessories like a bow that they just carried with them, and they had, nice hair bows, hats in some of the music show stages. I really liked it, and I thought everybody's hair was looking good. I think that the makeup was pretty good overall, and I just thought Red Velvet was really looking like, they had good uniformity overall this comeback. But my runner-up is maybe what people would have thought I would have put as number one, because it really does stand out in my heart as like I really appreciate it, and that's 9i.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I would have thought.
Yeah, so 9i mainly like their turn it off looks, although I really did appreciate and like stylistically the Neverland comeback was probably more my like style, but the turn it off was just like wow, it was like shocking in a good way. I'm like, please more people do this, because it's so fun, and it's just so, there's so much color, but it was done in a way that I just really liked. And the boots, the like animal bag accessories, when people wear bags on stage, like that just is always like really good to me. And I think that the makeup looks were definitely very bold, but they were working for the most part. The hair you know, they were doing animal ears in the hair or like apple hair. That's always a good bonus for me. Yeah, so I thought that they really had good, fun, unique styling.
Okay. I like the spread that we've got of
Yeah.
styling.
Yeah, definitely. Now, let's talk about our two catchiest categories. We have catchiest song and then catchiest dance. So I will share my catchiest song. And this category, I had a bit again once again, I had a bit of a difficult time with these two categories just because I'm like, what do I really consider? How do I make these considerations different than just like the title track considerations? But I'm just going to explain it. So NCT Dream ISTJ is
Okay.
what I went with for catchiest song. Just because I was kind of going with it really gets stuck in my head, but it also has this like element of fun. So it was really hard because I'm like, you know, so many of the songs this year I really liked, and so many I would consider catchy. But you were saying, you know, these have to be the top of the catchy. So it's like, out of all the catchy songs, it's like, yeah, sure, they're good, they're really catchy. But like, if you had to pick a favorite of one of those, I guess I would say ISTJ for now. My runner up though, ooh, I was having such a rough time, I didn't know, but I went with ITZY Cake.
Oh, okay.
Just
Sure.
because it's fun, it's always getting stuck in my head, and multiple parts of it get stuck in my head. So yeah, those are my two. What about you?
I definitely considered ITZY Cake as one of mine, but I didn't. I didn't pick it. My You might be surprised. My top favorite catchiest song for the year is Turn It Off by 9i.
Wow, I am
Yeah.
surprised.
I just think it's really like fun and light and like lends itself well to like catchiness.
Yeah.
I don't even know. I mean, I think, yeah, no, it has catchy like lyric parts for me as well. But like, even because I was like, do I want to pick one that has like a really like a line that, you know, like will get stuck in my head and that I'll always want to sing along with? Or do I want to pick one that's just kind of like, you know, gets stuck in your head,
Yeah.
like mentally? And so Turn It Off, I've got as my top favorite. And then Gravity Groovy is my runner up because it's also just very good, very catchy, very fun.
For sure. How about Catchiest Dance? What did you pick for that?
I didn't really know what to put for this category. I felt like I had already used up all of my choreography knowledge in my mind and soul for the last question. So this one, it might surprise you. It might seem a bit random. It is Turn It Off by nine. Which I didn't even realize at first that I had done this, because in the way that I was writing my list, if I was finished with a specific, I was sort of bouncing around between categories. And then if I was finished with a category, I would check the checkbox next to it and it would move out of the list.
Oh.
So I had already answered one of these. I don't know which one of these two catchiest categories. And so then it wasn't next to the other one anymore. And I answered the other one later. And then it was only once I unchecked everything and saw my full list again that I realized that both categories had Turn It Off. But I'm purely putting this here for the little bopping head part of the choreography at the end.
Okay.
And that's all I have for Catchiest Dance.
I do think it's really good choreography. I went with I'm gonna share something else after. Just, I know we're supposed to just stick to one and a runner up, but I've got to just shout something else out because I put BLITZERS Macarena for Catchiest Dance just because I feel like the choreography is so good, and it's like when I listen to it, I want to do the choreography, particularly the chorus moves, and I just, you know, it adds to the whole package, you know, it's part of it. You have to have the choreography. So that's my number one. My runner up, I went with Weekly Vroom Vroom.
Oh, okay.
A little surprising, maybe. I I didn't really know for these two. I'm like, do I put these things in the catchiest song or do I put them in the catchiest dance? So yeah, Weekly Vroom Vroom is a very catchy song, but I think the dance is like really fitting to the song and it's pretty fun and I like it. So I put that as my runner up. But for both the catchiest song and dance, I had I've Baddie there like most of the time until I decided, I need to just admit BLITZERS Macarena. But I've Baddie definitely is always getting stuck in my head, and the dance is like always getting stuck in my head, if that is a thing. So yeah.
It definitely is very catchy. I would say it's one of the catchiest, but it's not one of my favorite of the catchiest.
Well, that leaves our last main category, which is top 5. So should I just speed run my top 5?
Sure.
BLITZERS Macarena, and I did album based for this.
Okay.
So,
and might I ask, are they in a particular order or is it just the top 5?
I kind of was trying to think about it as a particular order.
Oh, okay.
But honestly, like this entire thing, it could be different. It could not be that. I don't know. But I was trying to think about it in the actual order.
Okay.
So BLITZERS Macarena, Just Be Nanugi, I've, nine.i New Mind, and Zero Base One Melting Point.
Okay. Did you have anything more you wanted to add about any of those specifically?
I didn't know if I wanted to do Youth in the Shade or Melting Point, but I'm really feeling Melting Point, especially lately. ZB1's songs give me such Pentagon vibes, and I didn't include Pentagon in this favorites, which I feel bad about, but I feel like ZB1, they didn't have much, but ZB1 is like giving me those vibes, which I appreciate. So yeah, and I kind of talked about the other ones enough. So what are your top 5?
Okay, so for my top 5, I actually went more song based. Like I've literally listed songs for the top 5. And I didn't really think of them as being in a particular order, but if I look at my list, I guess maybe that is the order, but just take it with a grain of salt. And the last one is, I don't feel like it should be here, but I felt too bad to take it away, so it's there. I'll explain it. My top 5 are BLITZERS Macarena and Hyphen Bite Me, which I hadn't gotten to list anywhere else yet, but I still do love it. 9-6 Don't Call Me, Just Be Medusa, and lastly, Only Stewardess Girl, which is just also, it needed to be mentioned more. It didn't ever fall into any of those categories, but it is really good in terms of listenability and everything. Like, let's not forget about it,
Yeah.
It's a good one. So yeah, that's my top 5.
Okay, I think, we're going to look back and be like, you know what? Yeah, they're very, very good picks, and they're very representative of the year, I think.
Definitely.
So now we're going to just say our 3 to 5 songs in sort of different genres, moods, vibes, random kind of categories that we really just created to give shout outs to more songs that are definitely in our top favorites from this year. We've got emotional, upbeat, dark/cool, pretty/ethereal/ I also started to think of it as like dreamlike songs, and then bops. So those are our categories. Would you like to share your top emotional songs?
Sure. Now, it was supposed to be 3 to 5 songs, but I honestly, if I started adding more songs to some of these categories, it wouldn't have been my favorites. I would have just been like, oh, here's another emotional song that I could listen to. So I really had to, some of the categories don't have that many songs. But definitely one of my favorite emotional songs, obviously, for the year is Either Way by IVE. Absolutely. It's top of the top for emotional songs. I've also included, I don't even know if it really counted as an emotional song, but I included And I by ZB1.
Okay.
And then I kind of wanted to include Sensitive by Lucemble, but I was
okay.
like, the song itself isn't emotional sounding, but like the music video gives you emotional vibes.
Okay. Fair.
So that's the best I could do for the emotional category. Everyone knows I don't really have that much like in my bank for emotional songs. Like I don't listen to that many.
Okay. My top emotional song is CIX Save Me Kill Me. I really wanted to keep it in the top music videos, but it's a music video that it's like, you can't frequent.
Right.
So I felt like since I was kind of going off of like watchability, I didn't include it anymore. But it was in my mid-year favorites. But definitely still a great song, and music video is very emotional. I've Either Way is my number 2 spot. I just think obviously it's so good, very pretty sounding, and it's a very pretty video. Just Be Youth is number 3, NCT Dream Broken Melodies is number 4, and ITZY Bet On Me is number 5.
I'm not really surprised by any of those. That makes sense. I believe it. I almost included CIX Save Me Kill Me, but I was like, this isn't one of my favorite songs. So, but like I recognize the emotional aspect of it and I think it's good. But yeah, I had to take it off because I was like, this is not accurate.
Okay. Upbeat. I had 9i Turn It Off as number 1. NCT Dream Blue Wave as number 2. That's a B-side from their ISTJ album. ITZY Cake is number 3. ONF Love Effect is number 4. And Stacy Bubble is number 5.
Now, by those numbers, do you mean like that's the ranking?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I have 9i Turn It Off, Gravity Groovy, ITZY Cake, and the Boys Planet Jelly Pop, because
yeah,
that
Jelly
one
Pop is good.
Yeah, that one's really good. Like I'm like I don't ever really listen to this song anymore, but I can't forget about how good it is, and it's super upbeat. So
yeah.
for my dark and cool category, I have one that has not shown up at all yet, Monsta X Beautiful Liar.
Mm-hmm.
Such a good song, but I didn't have any place to put it, but it definitely fits here. Very, very good. Boys Planet On Guard, another favorite of mine from Boys Planet, and Hyphen Bite Me, we all know. And The Boys Watch It. Yeah.
Nice. I had Golden Child Feel Me, 17 Super, 9 to 6 Don't Call Me, The Boys Roar, and Monsta X Beautiful Liar. For the pretty category, I had Billy, BYOB, Bring Your Own Best Friend as number 1. I love that song. So good. I've Off the Record, I had as well because, they're either way, Off the Record, Baddie, triple titles. I thought it was a really good move. I really liked them all. Off the Record definitely had vibes that I really like. 9i Neverland, Red Velvet Iced Coffee is a B-side, and Zero Base One Take My Hand is another B-side. All those I really like. I think they sound cool and pretty, and yeah.
I have Billy, BYOB, Bring Your Own Best Friend, and that is it. There were a couple other songs that I felt like I could definitely include somewhere because I do think they're really good, but they would have gone more in like a chill category, not necessarily pretty.
Yeah,
so
I was
just
thinking
like,
about like making a chill category, but I was like, we already established our categories.
Yeah, and we can't just talk about every single song from the year.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the only one I have, but it's another genre that I don't frequent very often.
And I know I just said that one of those songs or whatever was pretty and cool sounding, or like all of them, but like I don't mean the same way as the dark and cool category, obviously.
Right.
But yeah. Okay, so what about your bops?
Okay. For my bops, I have I Want, their Pepsi song.
So good.
So
The best
good.
Pepsi song, honestly.
Absolutely. I also have Heejin Algorithm.
Nice.
I have ampersand 1 On and On.
Okay, solid.
And lastly, Somi Fast Forward.
Very true.
I think those are all great bops. Songs that you just think like, oh, wow, yes, this song came on, you know, like, oh, gotta listen to it, gotta bop along.
Definitely true. They are. I went with some similar ones, some the same. I went with Vivi's Maniac, Zero Base One Melting Point, Somi Fast Forward. I went I've Wave.
Oh, another
because
good bop.
I kind of was thinking like, you know, I listened to I Want and then I listened to Wave and I'm like, ooh, both so good, but Wave is more my style.
Okay.
And J-Chon Hello.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, those are my bops. So that's really all that we've got for our real list of favorites. But we do still want to take some time for honorable mentions.
Yes. Now, for me personally, depending on how broad you want to make honorable mentions, it could be pretty long because I did find a lot of these songs, you know, going back to them thinking, oh, wow, yeah, you know, that one's good. Even though I didn't add it to my playlist, even though I didn't, you know, really care about revisiting it often, it's still a solid, good song. But I tried to be a little bit more harsh and just go with the songs, just a few songs that I thought, you know, it's a shame that I didn't mention this one. It's a shame that I didn't talk about it. So while there are still even more songs that I think were very good from this year, these are the ones that I felt like I wish that I had mentioned it somewhere just because.
Okay. I think you should just share however many you feel like you want to.
Okay. So I have Shonu Hyungwon, Love Me a Little. It's not really my genre of song that I would listen to often, but I think they did such a good job. I really think they did a good job with the music video. I'm proud of Hyungwon for like really just showing us all like how much he could hold his own against like a dancing counterpart and stuff like that. You know, it's good. So I wanted to mention that one. Also, ITZY, None of My Business. I really like this song. But I didn't exactly think it was a bop. You know, I didn't exactly think it was the catchiest or anything like that. So I didn't know where to put it, but I do really like it. You know, just as much as I like Cake, I like this song as well. It's just chill and it's just a nice one to listen to. And then lastly, surprisingly, I do feel the need to mention TIOT Unbeatable. Just because this is like a song that I feel like more people should check out because it's so obscure if you've never watched Boys Planet and then checked up on, you know, other Boys Planet members after the fact. Like, you would miss this.
Yeah.
But, like, they deliver. Like, they do a good job. So I just feel like, you know, and it's their pre-debut. So it's like for some people that are just starting out, it's like, why not? You know, why not go check it out? Because it's not like, you know, it's not like, oh, well, this is, you know, it's a little bit low quality because they're new and stuff. No, they deliver. It's good.
Yeah, it is good. All those are good.
Thank you. So how about your honorable mentions for the year?
I would like to take a moment to mention One Pact, which might be surprising, but I'm doing it because as it's been released for a little bit longer now than when we first talked about it, their title track Must Be Nice has really been kind of on repeat, honestly. I'm going to be honest. I quite like it. I think that it's got good vibes, even though they're a bit dark for my general preference. But I'm just so glad to see and hear Sungmin And it just like, I feel like he's enjoying his time in One Pact. So when I hear his parts in the song, I'm remembering his old parts that he used to have in some songs, and I'm just like, I like it. I like the way that his voice makes the songs sound, and I think that I like that the way that they have done so much of the stuff themselves. I think that One Pack deserves a shout out. I'm curious to see where this group is gonna go, and like how big they're gonna get. So One Pack 17, I really want to shout out more than I did. I kind of already said earlier how big of a year this has been for them, and I really do like their albums that they released, and Busok soon as well. I think they've done a great job this year. I am gonna keep having, like, I do have kind of a lot of honorable mentions, but I mean, I said we had like somewhere around 100 songs just out of the ones that we listened to, just title tracks. So to narrow it down this much already, like, is wow. I can't believe I did that. So I'm sorry that I have so many honorable mentions, but I feel like I didn't talk about the boys' Roar as much as I wanted to. Like, I still think that their music video is really good, and I think the choreography is pretty cool as well. There's a lot of nice elements that I like. And Shiny and the members that had solo releases this year, I feel like, oh, it's disgusting that I didn't get to mention them as much as I did.
Oh, God.
I just feel like I should have talked about them more, and they deserve to be talked about more. And I like Taemin's solo. I like Key's solo. I didn't know where I wanted to include them though. And just, yeah, I'm taking the time now. And okay, Red Velvet, it was a last minute addition because I really did need to include Zero Base One in the top 5 because of how much I actually did end up liking their music. But I had Red Velvet's album Chill Kill as like a top 5 until the very end. But I do think that they had a lot of good B-sides, and Will I Ever See You Again it would be in the, like, if we could have done more B-sides for that category, this would have been in it. And just the Boys Planet songs in general, really, they were good. Say My Name I really like, On Guard, Jelly Pop. They had good songs for Boys Planet. Okay, and once again, sorry for how many things I'm saying, but the last 2 things I will honorably mention. AT's Bouncy, because I feel like it just needs to be mentioned. I reference it all the time, and I think that they had good energy with that comeback. I didn't care for the music video. It was a bit too scary for my liking, but I thought that, the choreography and that energy that they were bringing to live stages was really good. And Artems, Odd Eye Circle, Heejin, Lucemble even, I want to shout them out because I really, I think it's great what they've been doing, and they're getting to make music still, and it's good. So, yeah, those are my favorites.
Okay, now everyone, please remember our disclaimers at the beginning and throughout about, these favorites and what we could include and everything like that. And I hope that some of our favorites are ones that you also loved, or that maybe can become favorites of yours, because they're all really good songs.
Yes, if you want to, you can leave us a comment and share some of your favorite K-pop releases from 2023. We would love to hear what you loved this year. I really didn't mean to rhyme, but it ended up that way. Also, I would like to say that at some point, hopefully sometime, soon, we are going to have 2023 playlists for each of us with our favorite songs, title tracks, B-sides from this year. It's not going to be every song from this year that we listened to or would save in our playlist. It's going to be our favorites, so keep that in mind. If you want to check it out, you can go to BlushCat on Spotify. You can use our short link that's in the description to find those playlists and save them to your library when they do become available. And we have plenty of other K-pop playlists there as well. You can subscribe to BlushCat on YouTube and turn on notifications, and like this video if you enjoyed it. Thank you.
I hope everyone listening enjoyed K-pop this year, 2023, as much as we did. There really was a lot of it's weird because sometimes I would think there really aren't very many songs that I like, you know, when we do like a comeback episode.
Yeah.
But there really are a lot of good things that came from this year. So I hope everyone enjoyed it and had a good time. And I hope that we will get even more great stuff next year.
Yeah. Thank you again for listening. Stay meowing. This has been Loremire.
And me. Bye.
Meow, 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 meow.